settle down from the Chicago game. Do you have any other big takeaways from how that all went down?
No, I thought it was the right thing to do. Actually reminded me of a story. My dad played in Chile for 5 years, and they played the same aggregate best of two score differential. My dad's team was up 2 seconds, and the other team thought they needed to win by 6. But my dad's team was winning, so they purposely scored on their own basket so they could force it into overtime and try and win by 6. And so, to me, it's like you, by any means necessary, within the rules.
That's what I was going to say. You do just tell you what the rules are, and you will play within that structure.
And find gray areas along the way.
That Al starting the last couple of games, obviously, praised him a lot, and just the sacrifices made this year, and just how fun it's been coaching him. How was him starting the last couple of games, been able to open up the game?
Credit to him for being able to bounce back and forth between, having a different role and then having to rely on him. But we did it all last year. I thought him at the 5 at the beginning of last year, and him being spaced and us playing faster, created our offensive identity. So we've been able to get back to that. And we've talked about it. He's reinvented his game with his offensive rebounding. And he's really bought into and helped better our defensive identity, being creative and doing some of the different stuff. And so he headlines that, and it's been good.
You've talked about how fun it is to coach him because he's older than you.
Yeah.
Experience. What does that allow you guys to kind of talk about, and just, do you pick his brain about different stuff?
Oh, yeah. I talk to him a lot. When we talk about our faith, we talk about marriage, kids. Like, it's always good to just get to a different level of conversations with different guys, and him and I, sharing a different relationship.
When you guys played in Philly last second quarter, there's a bit of an energy dip. Do you feel like that was just human nature, comes and goes, or what do you think the roots of that were?
It happens every game. It happens to every team, every league, and we talked about that today. Is like, can we be the team that doesn't fall into that? It's going to happen from time to time, but can we recognize it and give ourselves tools in the heat of those moments? Can we go to things that bring back our focus, things that bring that back? And when you see it, there's a ton of blown leads, there's a ton of things in the NBA, and I think a lot of it has to do with embracing that. And it goes back to even like the tournament, right? Like, there's a difference between, you talk to KP. KP's been playing with point differential his whole career. So he can't fathom why you wouldn't play up 30 points to get it there. Like, that's his definition of respect for the game, whereas the American definition of respect for the game is we all stop playing when it's a 20-point game and let someone else go play for us. And so it's just a different level of expectation. And so the in-season tournament has really helped kind of give the perspective of, like, should we not be trying as hard as we could when you're up 32 points or up 25 or up 18? So it's just that level of perspective. And I think if we could at some point be the team that's the best at playing regardless of what the score is, it allows us to build a mindset and habits.
I'm just going to say you're a big mindset guy in general. Are there things you can feel like you'll pull from that experience?
Yeah.
Like you had that the other night and you didn't blow it?
Yeah.
Maybe not, but it was more on the line and people were more aware.
It's just that perspective. Like, I was talking to KP after the game, and he was like, man, the most respectful thing to do is to keep playing, because that's what he's done his whole life. So it's just a different brand of basketball that you're used to seeing. But at the end of the day, the core of that is you have a lead. Are you going to play to increase it, or are you going to not play and allow it to decrease? And then whether it's an in-season tournament and there's point differential or not, we have to get great at that space of we're winning, and we got to work on keep winning, not relax.
Did you get a hold of Andre Drummond? Did you find him?
Yeah, I talked to him.
Mm-hmm. So point differential, you believe, should be a better, more essential stat in the NBA?
It's not what I'm saying. I did not say that. I said as long as it's within the rules, I will do whatever you have to do to win. But the point differential has opened up the perspective of why teams blow leads and why the difference in basketball here in America is different in Europe, because the expectation of point differential makes teams have to keep playing. Like, the things that you're seeing in the in-season tournament this year go on in Europe on a daily basis because of the structure that they play with. And so it's just, when you talk to players like KP who have played in European, and you talk to players here who have only played in America, it's a different perspective on, like, respect for the game. And European respect for the game is like, you do what we did against Chicago every single time because there's always a point differential, where here at some point the other team concedes and you put it in different lineups and you just kind of, hope the game's over. And so regardless of if it's 30 points and a point differential or we're up 18 with 6 minutes to go, can we play as hard as we can and not just hope for us, like, be hopeful that we'll win this game or get through it? Can we, like, strive in those situations?
Do you think guys would just get used to it in terms of that, for the in-season tournament? If, like, obviously some guys on your team, another red leaguer, that was a little awkward. Do you think guys will just adjust?
Yeah, it's new. Like, it's something they've never done before. So, like, I think they will. But the teaching point allowed us to look at the perspective of, like, playing with leads is really hard in the NBA in today. And it's like, can we learn how to be one of the best teams at doing that?
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you. Appreciate it.